A little over halfway through the second period. Sidney Crosby discussing strategy on the bench with Mark Recchi. Will be giving away his autographed sweater, brought to us by the Hockey News during our next intermission. There's Sidney signing it this morning.
And that's authentication at its finest, right there. Nice young kid, Sidney Crosby. Had a chance to speak with him just briefly this morning. A lot of emphasis on him, so there's a lot of cameras and microphones in his face all the time. Good, young, humble kid. And he's not a kid. He's a young man that's emerging as a star in the greatest game that was ever made. And the NHL is happy to have him. And he showed good patience on that power play a second ago. And they didn't connect, but they controlled the play. They allowed him to be the quarterback on the power play, which is something that, you know, maybe not another coach might not do. Michael Therrien giving him the free will to do that, and he can make things happen. He is the leading scorer of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
What is this? Is this that an illegal line change, perhaps? Who was whistled for that last icing? It was the Penguins, so they have to keep the same players on the ice when they're charged with an icing, so that's why we see some different men shuttling back on the ice from Michel Therrien's bench.
Yeah, I believe that's what it was, Dan. Something simple that still needs an adjustment, right, by coaching staffs. And here we are, 2/3 of the way through the season, and he's still getting used to it.
Here's Recchi, forechecking. Bad angle, Lundqvist blockers it aside. Sergei Gonchar tapping it down low. I think an underrated rule.
Yeah, but here we see the Pittsburgh Penguins getting pucks to the net again. The matchup here of Recchi's line with Malone and Leclerc against Straka and Brzezinski. Recchi finishing checks there. It's a big part of the game when you see a veteran player like Mark Recchi finishing a big check. He's going to get paid off for that.
Recchi, perfect pass onto the tape of Leclerc. Trying to go back to Malone, but telegraphed, and Michael Nylander intercepts it. Roosevelt failed clearing attempt. Malone teetering on the blue line. Will chuck it in deep as Pittsburgh is changing. Vetter Tootin and the Rangers. A little backspin, put it into Pittsburgh territory, so there's no icing. Tarnstrom has a man breaking. It's Crosby. If that pass would have been on target, Sidney Crosby has a breakaway.
He's always breaking, Sidney Crosby. Right through the middle again. It was good flip pass by Tarnstrom. Just couldn't catch up to it.
Peter Sikora. He's been to the Cup Finals 3 times, including a Stanley Cup winner in 2000 with the New Jersey Devils.
Lost in Game 7 to Ray Bourque and the Colorado Avalanche.
Tootin's drive blocked by Sarovi. Sikora centering right through the crease. Pruka was there, but too well tied up. Poti from the point, tipped on the way in by Pruka. Marc-Andre Fleury, a nice stick stop.
There's this line of Ruchin and Pruka and Sikora again. Could be the changing time in this period for them. They created it in the first period. Pruka with a big hit there too.
Good keep in by Thomas Polk. Down low to Pruka. This has been a long shift for Mr. Pruka, but still creating stuff on the forecheck. Dominic Moore back to Sikora. Finally, Pruka goes to the bench. Moore's wrist shot blocked by Tarnstrom. And a follow-through pass off a stick. And out of play with 7:15 remaining in the second period.
Well, it's a good thing that they got a stick on that puck, because they were getting cycled down low there big time, and Scuderi comes up with a great defensive play to get that puck outside. But here we see the puck going through the crease. Sikora, Ruchin, Peter Pruka controlling the play down low. Let's see if the New York Rangers will, with 7:15 left in the second period, start to control the play, because it's been all Penguins. Henrik Lundqvist has been called on to make some great saves, but Pittsburgh has really taken it to him here in the second.
Eric Cairns, the newest Penguin, begins the breakout. Koltsov across the line, stop a Ranger defense.
Yeah, and one thing with young players like that, Konstantin Koltsov, you can't be too fancy at the blue lines. There you got to make a play deep. That's what's been successful for you.
Koltsov doing a little dancing right when he crossed that blue line. Marcel Hossa coming off a 2-goal performance. Jed Ortmeyer. Dominic Moore, wraparound Fleury to stop, kicks that rebound out. The Rangers maintaining control and this pressure. Koltsov can't clear it. Endicott will. Outletting right onto the stick of Konstantin Koltsov, and that slap shot off the stick of Jason Strudwick, and it's goodbye.
And that whole defensive play down low where the Rangers were controlling the puck there started when Koltsov turned over the puck at the blue line. Those turnovers turn into a bad play for your team. It's a giveaway. And here we see the Rangers controlling the puck. Dominic Moore coming back, almost goes off a skate. The Pittsburgh defender, and Fleury's called on to make a couple saves, but
right off the draw, Talbot looking for it in front is Guillaume Lefebvre.
Yeah, just to finish that thought is you have to make sure, especially when you're down a goal, you can't be turning pucks over the blue line. I mean, that's a huge emphasis from every coach in the National Hockey League, because then you're just playing defense the whole game.
Roosevelt paired up with Marek Malik, Nylander, Ward, Billy Neiman in the forward three for the Rangers. Talbot chisels it by Marek Malik. Might have seen Malik's magic. I believe it was in the 15th round of a shootout a few weeks ago. The move that was a cross between Alexander Ovechkin, Jaromir Jagr, and Wayne Gretzky. Beautiful goal in the shootout to win it for the Rangers. Feet keep moving, you hear the linesman say. Pody takes the pass from Nieminen. Tootin lets it rip. Thunders off the blocker of Fleury to the boards. And John LeClair puts it over everyone's head off the glass. And it's an icing on Pittsburgh.
Well, with the play slowing down here, Pittsburgh Penguins coming back 1-0 Rangers.
5:11 to go as Michel Therrien looks on.
Straka, Jagr scores! Jaromir Jagr. Right in front, Jagr shoots, scores! Jagr again. Wrist shot blocked by Nienema. Rebound, Jagr scores! Jaromir Jagr. It's the hat trick.
October 20th. Jaromir Jagr notched his 13th career hat trick. When he gets it going, he can really move as Marc-Andre Fleury forced to make a stop in front.
And Jagr in tight there. A nice little tight play from Marty Straka. They love those little plays in tight that the Czechs do. He almost slipped one in there.
Wojcinski, bothered by the forecheck of Ryan Malone, is joined by John LeClair and Mark Recchi up front, but it's Jaromir Jagr. He loves to weave and wind his way in the neutral zone, loses it, and the Penguins shoot it out of play.
Yeah, you got to watch. Jagr's so great at protecting the puck, but Marty Straka makes little plays, and that play that he made right off the faceoff almost got Jagr a goal.
How many shots tonight you see for Jaromir Jagr? John, you faced him many a times. What's it like to see that shot coming off the stick of Jaromir Jagr, or those 80 moves he makes on a breakaway against you?
Yeah, and the one thing about Jarmo is he's not going to take a big slap shot. He's going to fake it and work on little wrist shots, but he protects the puck so well when he comes in on you. When he's down low, he's got a big lower torso, and that's what he does best. He wiggles and winds just like you said, and he can beat you with nifty little moves. He can beat you with a wrist shot, but you know, when he's in his kitchen, as you saw those 3 goals he scored on the Islanders, I mean, he's basically working off what's called the circles and the dots, and he's swinging all around, you lose him.
It just personified there with that great shot from our crew of Jaromir Jagr on the bench. He can't stop laughing and smiling. It seems Jaromir Jagr's happy again, and a productive player oftentimes has better numbers.
Yeah, well, he's upset right now a little bit because he's not getting enough shots. He's not getting enough ice time, you know. I mean, he needs to be out there right now every second shift, and he knows what everybody else in the National Hockey League's doing as far as points go and the scoring race. I mean, that's a sign that he wants it.
I should say a happy player is a more productive player, and it's time for the rest to end for Jaromir Jagr.
And this is what they need to do. Throw him back out there. You want to get that score to 2-0. Throw your best player back out on the ice, and he can change the complexion of the game. And here you see 29 goals, 40 assists, 69 points, leads the league in scoring, and on pace to have a 120-odd point season. That'd be pretty good, wouldn't it?
10 players on pace this year in the NHL for 100-point seasons. We've only seen 11 100-point seasons since 1996. Yager rips it right through the crease. The intended target was Martin Raczynski. Dick Tarnstrom over the line. That hits Straka in the head. Straka cruises on it, caught him in the helmet. He's okay. Raczynski carries over the line, takes the hip check from Scuderi. 3.5 minutes to go in this second period. Tootin, that wrist shot blocked, and it's Recchi. To Leclerc.
And Tootin had more going to the net.
Malone, breakaway, in Deeks. Lundqvist stays with Ryan Malone and keeps the Penguins at 0.
And the Penguin fans are calling for a penalty there as Malone went in and got chopped down. I'm surprised there wasn't a call on that play.
Just seems tonight we've seen a few more things go than in the previous games this year on HDNet.
Yeah. Here we see again, Malone splits the D, gets in from a nice pass, and gets hooked down as he tries to slip it in between. That looked like a penalty to me.
Rangers scrambling a bit. Feder Tootin off the stick. Hossa back to center. Jackman, Ouellet, wrist shot, Lundqvist. Rebound perfectly to the wall. Lefebvre there. His harmless shot blocked. Lefebvre again. This time it's Nylander with the stop in front before it could get to Lundqvist. And the Rangers bust across center. Hossa will dump it in.
And they get a great shift from Lefebvre. And Ouellet really got life back in the Penguins again. The Rangers control the puck down low.
Crowd getting into this one now here in Pittsburgh. Ward's shot is blocked. Ville Nieminen to Nylander, who perhaps saved a goal seconds ago. Strudwick on the point, his drive. Ricochets off of Sarovian all the way back into New York territory.
And Sarovi's upset, and he kicks his stick because he knew he had a chance to go the other way. But you got to keep pursuing the play. Something good can happen.
Sarovi to the net, drawing a penalty. Doesn't get the goal, but a hooking call coming to New York.
And a great shift again by Sarovi and company with Crosby and Armstrong. And guys, they got to bring that puck to the net like that. The Rangers want to do it. Pittsburgh wants to do it. Every team you see in the National Hockey League want to bring that puck strong to the net, and good things will happen. Sarovi cutting past the defenseman puck, and he has to hook him because he would have been unsolicited to the net. And good moves there by Sarovi as he shifted to the front of the net. It's got puck shaking his head as he sits in the penalty box, but I think Pittsburgh's taking over the game. Let's see if they can get one on the power play. Rangers really did a great job of killing that last penalty because of their aggressive penalty killing.
Here's some aggressive penalty killing. Short-handed chance. More the wrist shot. Oh, he had some room, and Fleury gets the arm on it.
That was a good 2-on-1 chance. I don't know how it developed, but they can't be giving up chances on their power play.
And there you see, Sergei Gonchar committed the sin that you talked about earlier, getting a little too fancy along the blue line and around the blue line.
Yeah, and they want to enter the play. They want to enter the zone on a power play through the middle and then kick the puck out wide. So Gonchar goes against the grain, does whatever he wants to do, and gets himself pinned over on the board, and it's easy to angle you off when you're on the boards.
Gonchar back on the point with Recchi. Ouellet, Crosby, and Malone up front of this number one power play unit. Final minute of the period. Penguins down 1-0. Gonchar. Crosby to Recchi. Walks, fires. Lundqvist right on the goal line making the save. 45 seconds to go in the period. Crosby can't handle the pass cleanly, but he grabs it with the glove and settles it down. Michel Ouellet back to Recchi. To Ouellet.
back door, rebound, Lundqvist, what a stop, and the Rangers clear it.
And Lundqvist, what a save there. What a great right pad save. Keeps the game 1-0 for the Rangers.
Covering the entire bottom portion of the net there with a lot of traffic in front. Crosby and Malone hunting for it. Crosby chips it back to Recchi. 10 seconds to go. Sidney Crosby, Sergei Gonchar, 5 seconds. His wrist shot tipped. The rebound swept to the wall. Fed back in front. No one could get to it. Quite the finish to the second period. We saw some splendid goaltending from Henrik Lundqvist.
Oh, and Henrik Lundqvist made a difference in that period. We may have overshadowed him a little bit because he made some other good saves. Recchi, when he held the post, and the other ones, but what a great period by Henrik Lundqvist, especially when the power, killing the penalty, because your goalie's your best penalty killer.
He certainly was there. The Penguins and Rangers are both scoreless there in the second period, but the Rangers lead 1-0 from Peter Pruka's first period goal. You know things are going well when your superstar is happy, and Jaromir Jagr looks happy. We'll talk with one of the best in the business, former goaltender, now broadcaster, John Davidson, that and much more. Rangers lead the Pittsburgh Penguins 1-0. It's good of Mark Recchi, one of the leaders of this Pittsburgh Penguins franchise, to join us downstairs. Mark, were you more pleased there with the later stages of the second period than the first half?
Yeah, that was definitely getting better. We were turning the puck over way too much in the first half of the period, and you know, against a team like that, that's the last thing you can do. And you know, we have to keep it deep in their end and try and create our energy from there and our chances.
Mark, we want to stay away from all the uncertainty that surrounds the Pittsburgh Penguins, so let's stick to hockey. I mean, I think that you guys move that puck around very well in the power play the two times that you're out there, but what about what Therrien's telling you guys? How does he wanting you to get the puck back to the point and shoot from the middle?
Well, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to, we're just trying to keep things simple right now and get it back there and almost go to like an umbrella look with the guy in the middle shooting the puck. And if the options aren't open, get it to the side and get pucks to the net and create some traffic and see if we can get some ugly ones.
Right. And it looks like the seams are opening up there. You might be able to sneak one through the middle, but how about Henrik Lundqvist? He's playing really well tonight.
You know what? We've played him a couple times this year. You know, he's a terrific goalie, and he's very composed in there and plays big, and he looks very athletic to me, and you know, he looks like the real deal. He's come in here and taken a #1 job over, and he's done a great job for the New York Rangers.
Mark, thanks a lot. Good luck in the third.
No problem, guys.
Thanks, Rex.
No problem, guys.
The wrecking ball, Mark Recchi. He and his Pittsburgh Penguins, they have a big final period of regulation upcoming. Beautiful Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Right now, things not so beautiful for the Penguin fans as the New York Rangers lead 1-0. Things going well in Cincinnati, Ohio, though, for Raymond Patrick Walsh. Congratulations. The winner of an autographed Sidney Crosby sweater. Sidney Crosby has a big following throughout North America, and Sidney Crosby right now in the Pittsburgh Penguins find themselves trailing to the Rangers 1-0. But as Mark Recchi alluded to in that interview, things going better here.
Yeah, they really are, and they're getting good goaltending from Marc-Andre Fleury, and in his own right, he's a top prospect for their team, as well as Henrik Lundqvist is for the New York Rangers. But I thought it was a great period for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
An adjective, John, that I think is used to describe both goaltenders, and you tell me, is it a necessary trait for a goalie to be one of the elite goaltenders, to have the adjective put upon him as being athletic? Because that's what I hear both guys described as.
Yeah, and they're very similar, and they do have a lot of athletic ability, but I think that Lundqvist is just a little bit more mature right now. Marc-Andre Fleury spent more time in the minors, and he's got all this stuff surrounding him about his contract. Is he going to go up, down? I mean, mentally, that doesn't help you. And I think that Michael Therrien and the Pittsburgh Penguins are saying, hey, you're staying here right now. They want to clear the air, and that'll give them a little bit more confidence.
We'll see how Marc-Andre Fleury reacts, knowing that he's not going down to Wilkes-Barre in the near future. Well, a guy who was a goaltender in the National Hockey League in the 1970s and has really blossomed into one of the best analysts, you name it, to break down the game. A tremendous personality. You know him a little bit, John Davidson.
Yeah, JD, he's a wonderful personality, and he's a great commentator, and a guy that I really looked up to because he was with the Rangers when I was there. So, you know, my kudos to JD and the work that he does.
Here's a little more as we visited with John Davidson.
John, January 19th, the New York Rangers, 11 games over 500. If I would have told you that this summer, would have you believed it?
No, not a chance, actually. I think we all knew that the New York Rangers had to rebuild. They went through the process of unloading during the last season that there was NHL hockey. They assumed some talent. They also assumed a lot of draft picks, and we're going to be a steady as she goes type of ship in rebuilding. Everybody wanted to rebuild. They even went to their fans and polled them, and the Ranger fans says, yes, rebuild, enough's enough, missing the playoffs 7 straight years. But I think they did a really good job in acquiring whatever free agents they did. They surrounded Jaromir Jagr with some good people. The biggest surprise would be the goaltending of Lundqvist, the kid out of Sweden at 23 years of age. He's been great. And then there's been some other surprises of young players playing well. And maybe the strongest addition, without question, is the coaching staff. Tom Rennie, who heads the staff, is really good. He's on course. He makes players accountable without browbeating them. He does a great job. So you look at them now, you can understand why they are where they are, but there's not a chance I would have ever thought they'd be there.
Seems like the Ranger fans, it didn't take them long to warm up to goaltender Henrik Lundqvist.
Yeah, Lundqvist and the work habits of the teams. It's all kind of hand in hand. They have this ritual. If they win at home, they all go to center ice and they get in a circle and raise their sticks up and salute the fans. And the fans just love it. It's a European soccer thing, European hockey thing. The fans love it. The third and fourth lines on the Rangers are blue-collar kids. They all work. And in fact, Jaromir Jagr said early in the season those two lines were the best third and fourth lines he's ever played with in his NHL career because of their work habits. So the fans are seeing young kids play like Pruka and Tooten and Lundqvist, amongst others, and improve. They're winning a few games, and there's kind of a love affair going on there right now.
You've got a big job upcoming covering the Olympics in Italy for NBC. Any early favorites for the final game?
You know, you try to think about that. I can tell you the women's hockey, it'll be Canada and the U.S. With the men's hockey, I have no idea. Canada looks like they would be a favorite, but boy, they're getting beat up with some injuries with the NHL season right now, in particular to their defensemen. The Czech team won the World Championships. This is a team that's very tight. They've been together a long time now, all these guys, and they have very good goaltending with Hasek and Vokun. They're going to be tough. The U.S. team, I'm real happy with the selection of Peter Laviolette as a coach. I see what he's done in Carolina, and he's going to play an up-tempo game. They need Keith Tkachuk. I hope he's healthy. I hope his hand's good because they need a power forward badly to be there. The Russians will be good with Ovechkin and Kovalchuk and some of their young talent. The Swedes with Lundqvist in goal are going to be a very good team. So those are just some of the teams I'm mentioning. It's going to be a great tournament. And I hope we don't have an upset like we did in Salt Lake City when Belarus knocked the Swedes out, which sort of tipped the scales in one direction away from a real good Final Four.
In terms of the coverage on NBC, you'll be part of that broadcast crew. Are you going to try anything different or stay the same?
No, I think they're going to see how the NHL thing goes here with the goalie mask, little camera they have in the chin, which is really good. The idea of a reporter down at ice side, see how that goes, and then see if they'd implement it into the Olympics. It's a different story over there with all the security and everything. It's harder to go about broadcasting hockey games. They don't give you much access. So I think the hockey should be so good that it'll just roll all the way through. Players are excited about it. I just hope everybody gets there healthy, and then I hope they get out of it healthy so they can all go back to their NHL teams and put another show on for us.
Well, we hope you stay healthy. Yeah. Thanks for the time, John.
Appreciate that. Thanks.
JD, John Davidson of the New York Rangers. The NHL will return on HDNet. We'll check out highlights when we come back to Pittsburgh.
Just a little over 2 minutes away from this final period of regulation beginning. And the Penguins will be on the power play when this third period begins. And you know this guy will be watching. Mario at the computer out.
Mario's on his BlackBerry trying to contact other people to see who wants to buy the Pittsburgh Penguins right now. And unfortunately, we can laugh about it, but people here in Pittsburgh are probably unsettled about it. But Mario, as we talked about in the open, has crossed over that threshold to have to put the team up for sale.
Mario needs some help to keep this team in Pittsburgh. Here's what happened in the second period. I classify it as a John Van Beesbrook second period because the goaltenders were the stars.
Yeah, and Marty Ruzinski here gets the puck and makes a nifty little play to Jagr, and you can see him get in position there on Tarnstrom, and a good save by Fleury. Jagr getting loose. That was after he went for the skate. And here we see on the power play, Recchi gets the puck at the point, and he's walking to the middle. Looks over, finds Ouellette. Ouellette just wires the puck to the net. And watch the right pad here. Wow, Henrik Lundqvist making the big difference in that period. Patience by Henrik Lundqvist to stay in the middle of the net after 2 periods. Take a look at the scoring chances. Penguins 12, Rangers 9. That's the one that stands out to me. Shots 20-14, but the Penguins had a lot of chances. You get 12 scoring chances in 2 periods. You're outplaying the other team, because I'll bet you the Rangers probably just limit their team to 12 or 13 all game.
And the goaltenders we mentioned, they were stars in the second period. Henrik Lundqvist for the New York Rangers. Marc-Andre Fleury for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Lundqvist on the right, getting some pads adjusted. His goaltending coach, Benoit Allaire, talking about how for a young man, his game preparation is unbelievable and how competitive he is in practice. He gets so mad when he allows a shot. Lundqvist reminds him a little bit of Dominik Hasek.
Yeah, and that's great competitiveness that is coming out of Henrik Lundqvist. And it's no surprise to the Swedish national team, who's going to play in Turin and have Henrik Lundqvist, as John Davidson alluded to. But let's not be overshadowed by Marc-Andre Fleury, who's having a wonderful game tonight. And, you know, for a 20-year-old hockey player who's been up and down this year, questioning whether he's going to be here or not, and really making a good statement tonight.
Marc-Andre Fleury trying to work on his patience a little bit. Said guys are holding on to the puck a little longer, so he has to outweight him without this hooking and holding. Pittsburgh begins this 3rd period on the power play. Tarnstrom, Gonchar, that one-timer whacked wide.
That looked like it was a set play, too, with Crosby off the side of the net.
Crosby in front, can't get a shot away, still loose. Up in the air, diving, they score! Pittsburgh ties it on the power play.
That was an unusual goal. You don't see many like that, where it pops up and Henrik Lundqvist looks like he was trying to shag a fly there in center field, and it beats him to the wall. Watch this play. Crosby makes it happen, bumps off Lundqvist, who makes a good play, goes up in the air. Look at him scrambling. And then Michael Roosevelt crashes into the net. Here's the play. Crosby coming to the front. Watch the puck go up there. Follow it now, coming down. Roosevelt tries to bat it out. He bats it in. Here we go. Puck's up. I got it. I don't got it.
Ooh.
It's in the net.
The former Penguin helps him out. Michael Roosevelt now at the Rangers. Crosby is the last one to touch it, wasn't he?
He may have been. I don't know if it was Crosby. We'll have to listen for the announcement there.
I think it was Crosby's shot deflecting off a Ranger, and then of course helped in by Michael Roosevelt. As you see the smiling Sidney Crosby on the Penguin bench, tied at 1, still in the first minute of this 3rd period.
And I don't know if that was a power play goal or not.
His 5th of the season, scored by number 32, Nick Tarnstrom.
Yeah, it was Dickie Tarnstrom coming in and whacking it.
Assisted by number
As Raczynski stopped by Fleury, and he'll hold on to it for a face-off.
Yeah, that was a great start for the Pittsburgh Penguins, getting off, having that power play, controlling the puck, getting pucks to the net. You never know when you're going to get an ugly one, like Mark Recchi talked about, right? Let's get pucks to the net. You never know when you're going to get an ugly one. Well, I haven't seen too many pop-ups to center field that the goalie can't handle, but unbelievable. I don't know what Michael Roosevelt was trying to do there either, but 1-1.
Strudwick. Pope guarding the front of the Ranger goal. Scuderi finds it. We're being credited with Dick Tarnstrom. Sarovi and Crosby with the assists. We'll take a closer look at that and see if it was actually Dick Tarnstrom who touched it last as the Rangers. Peter Pruka. Pass behind Ruchin, bouncing all around, finally golfed in by Peter Sikora.
Well, we'll see if the Rangers can rebound here with the Ruchin, Pruka, Peter Sikora line that gave him the life early on in the game, and see if they can establish a forecheck again.
Here's another look at the goal. Who touched this last?
Well, Crosby brings it out there, and now he shoots the puck. Lundqvist makes a save, and there's Tarnstrom coming in. Puck goes up, and it's Tarnstrom who gets it. Here we see again. Lundqvist makes a good save. He's got good position. Watch him scramble. He can't get back, and then Roosevelt comes in and doesn't make the play.
So it is Dick Tarnstrom's goal as Pittsburgh is offside.
And we have We have the Armstrong line with Crosby at center. Here with Sorovi matched up against Niemanen and Ward. The Niemanen-Ward line, who hasn't seen a lot of ice with Nylander. Oh, that looked like it was to the face. Got his stick up. That's Sorovi.
Michael Roosevelt, I believe, down on the ice for the Rangers.
Let's take a look here as he comes across. Oh, and he gets chopped by Sorovi. Malik was kind of had his stick, but he chopped Michael Roosevelt as he's coming around the net, and he's still down on the ice. That was a vicious play there by Sorovi, and we'll see if this is 4 minute or not. I mean, this would really be a big part of the game because the New York Rangers are really on their heels a bit here. And as Roosevelt, like Malik, kind of pushes Sorovi a little bit, and his stick kind of slingshots against Roosevelt's face. It's going to be a 2-minute penalty. Wow. Hope he's all right, and there he is. You can see him, hockey players, taking one off the beak.
As long as the eyes are okay.
Yeah. I thought he did get it. Though that's always the danger, right? He doesn't have a visor on. A lot of talk about visors in the NHL. Are you going to see an all-visor NHL at some point? Michael Roosevelt not wearing one.
So it's a Ranger power play. They're going up against the worst penalty-killing team in the National Hockey League. The Penguins are scored on almost 22% of the time during their penalty kills. Raczynski, one-timer from Teuton. Block, Talbot looking for it. Failing to move it out. Raczynski, the forward on the point, down to Jágr into Straka, returning to Jaromir Jágr from the point. Teuton's blast put wide. Scuderi, Cooley on the backhand to Lefebvre. Once, twice, third time he gets it out. And he outlets to Talbot. Short-handed Talbot in, fires wide.
Good part of scrambling on the part of the Pittsburgh Penguins led to a nice outlet pass that sent Talbot in.
Jaromir Jágr wide on Recchi. Pellikar takes care of Jágr but can't move it out. Fedor Teuton on the point. 55 seconds to go in the Rangers power play.
I'm absolutely impressed with this Fedor Teuton.
Jágr in front, redirected wide.
Fedor Teuton, this young star emerging for the New York Rangers. Maybe he's been overshadowed tonight too. He's the guy going back for the puck. He's in the middle on the power play. That sets a lot from Tom Rennie and Fedor Teuton. I mean, he's a good hockey player, but not recognized enough right yet.
Easy name to remember though, Fedor Teuton. Just a rookie in the National Hockey League. Scuderi on the backhand, and he puts it by Marek Malik.
They got their second unit. Jágr's not happy going off there because he's not getting the puck where he wants it. So the Sikora second power play unit coming out.
Sikora snaps that stick in half on the dump in, just as Sorovi is released from the box.
We got another penalty to Dick Tarnstrom, who tried to ice the puck but shot it over the glass. That's a new rule.
Delay a game.
Delay a game. So they just kill one. Now they got to kill another one. Here's Sikora coming over the red line, just wants to ring the puck and snaps one of those one-piece sticks that are so fashionable in the National Hockey League. But Dick Tarnstrom delay a game. This is back-to-back penalties for Pittsburgh. It's going to be a tough assignment here now.
Power play underway. Nylander, the second unit out there for the Rangers. Rooch and Nylander. Battle for the puck along the wall. Marek Malik standing right in front of the goal, the big defenseman. So forward, back on the point. Pody to Sikora. Blocked, rebound, Nylander didn't shoot it.
6'5", trying to move him outside the front of the net there. He's a defenseman, but he's just a big body.
Malik stays there.
Bit of a different look for the Rangers here.
Sikora takes it from Pody. Back to Tom Pody. Gonchar. Nice anticipation, moves it to center. But the Penguins don't change the entire unit. Another penalty coming to Pittsburgh. Nylander straight away. Pody's blast blocked. 5-on-3 advantage for the next 65 seconds for the Rangers.
And the Pittsburgh Penguins are digging themselves a bit of a hole here, getting themselves into penalty trouble. Killing penalties, you got to have discretion and awareness. And as we see here, puck on the boards, you get a little grab, they're going to call that. I mean, it's a questionable one, but when your hand wraps around the other player, you take it off the stick. That's holding. And whether you like it or not, you're down now 5-on-3, and you got 1:05 in the first one to kill off. So watch out for Jaromir Jagr.
No defenseman on the ice here for the Rangers. Raczynski and Jagr are on the points. Ruchin and Pruka up front along with Marty Straka. Peter Pruka, Raczynski, Jagr, Straka. Raczynski shoots, blocked by Armstrong. Not moved out. Pruka again. 43 seconds to go. The two-man advantage. Peter Pruka, one-timer, Jagr, save, Fleury, loose, clear to the wall. Scuderi, outmanned by two Rangers. That happens on a 5-on-3 power play. Jagr to Raczynski. Over to Straka, 21 seconds to go in the 5-on-3. Quick shot, Fleury the stop on Ruchin.
Oh, he made two big stops there.
Raczynski to Jagr. Pruka waits, fires over the head.
And I think Fleury got a piece of that one too, Dan.
Straka back to Jagr. Straka trying to center. Great play by Scuderi. It's only a 5-on-4 now.
And they say your goaltender has to be your best penalty killer, and there it comes through for Marc-Andre Fleury, who made 3 sensational saves.
Jagr, you hear the boos. Cuts wide, 40 seconds to go in the power play. Tipped. What a stop, rebound, they score! Fleury stopped the first one, but Peter Pruka has both Ranger goals. This one's on the power play, and it's 2-1 New York.
And this play develops with Jagr going behind the net, and again, forcing the player off the puck, so strong on the puck. Watch Jaromir Jagr here go wide. There's nothing that Jackman can do, and Jagr knows where Pruka is, but he wants to get the puck to the net, and there's Pruka on his backhand again, throwing the puck to the net. Watch Jagr, strong, throw it to the net, and Pruka there to put in the rebound. Second goal for Peter Pruka. Here's Jagr again, behind, knows where the net is. My, oh my, he's so good around the net and holding the defenseman off.
Here comes Pittsburgh, the shot going wide by Crosby, grabbed anyway by Lundqvist.
And it's really unfortunate because Marc-Andre Fleury was just having a flurry of great saves himself.
But he saw a little too much of Peter Pruka and his comrades. Here's the last Ranger goal scored on the power play, finished off by Peter Pruka.
And you see Jagr here gaining that wide zone, and Pruka on the doorstep for his 23rd goal of the season and second tonight. And what a big impact Peter Pruka's had for the New York Rangers.
Our research team out of Toronto, headed by Stan Naratka, notifying us that shooting percentage close to 30% now for the rookie. Shoot more. Good things happen, Mr. Pruka, when you fire that puck.
Pittsburgh Penguins have given up a lot of goals, as you saw from that last stat. Last in the National Hockey League, but Marc-Andre Fleury, I got to tip my hat to him. He was outstanding, killing that 5-on-3, and then the guy comes out of the box for a 5-on-4, as you said, Dan, and unfortunately for the Pittsburgh Penguins, they couldn't keep Peter Pruka under control, but maybe guilty of a little puck staring, but you got to battle your way through as penalty killers, but it seems to be the thorn in the side because they're the worst in the league in penalty killing, the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Roosevelt off, 2 minutes for hooking. So it's a power play for the Penguins. 16th ranked power play in the NHL. They're 1 for 3 tonight. They've generated 7 shots.
The Pittsburgh Penguins should have a good power play with a lot of the puck control guys they do have with Gonchar and Recchi and Crosby. See if it connects.
The veteran Recchi paired up with Sergei Gonchar, and his rookie Michel Ouellet has added new life to the Penguin power play. Gonchar pounds it in deep, awaiting along the wall. It's Sidney Crosby. Recchi
To Gonchar. A lot of movement on this power play.
And no stick for Dominic Moore there. Oh, he got a break, a good block in front. Now he can change. Get somebody out there with a stick.
Crosby remains on the ice for Pittsburgh. On the attack. 62 seconds to go on the power play. Penguins trailing 2-1 with a little over 12 minutes to go in this third period. Strudwick can't find it. Colby Armstrong to Recchi. Crosby shoots. Lundqvist the save. And the rebound handled by Steve Ruchin. Trying to clear it. Can't. Crosby fires. Scores! Sidney Crosby ties it.
And this play happened with great battle along the boards by John LeClaire and Colby Armstrong. Watch this play here as they battle the puck. Colby Armstrong gets it, patient, sends it over, and it hits off of the defenseman and goes in the net. As we watch again, watch Colby Armstrong. Patience here, finds Crosby, shoots it, hits off Lundqvist, the defenseman, and goes in the net. I think it hit off Jason Strudwick. Watch again. So he shoots it, hits off Strudwick's toe, and goes in the net. Lundqvist made one good save, goes off his defenseman and into the net, but great work there by Sidney Crosby.
Tied at 2 inside the final 12 minutes to go. The Rangers trying to respond. They send an energy line out there. Billy Neiman and Michael Nylander and Jed Ortmeyer's Tootin's shot off a body. Neiman in the wraparound, denied by Fleury. Tom Poti creeps in from the point. Nylander's shot is blocked. Nylander gets it back. Tootin doesn't fire. Poti does. Inadvertently blocked in front by Neiman.
Sorry, Dan. Pittsburgh's got to watch out that they don't take another penalty here.
Poti will take it. Billy Neiman. Guillaume Lefebvre and the Pens need a clear. They get a little time and space, and it's Dick Tarnstrom settling things down.
Smart play by Dick Tarnstrom to have a little patience because they needed to get a line change.
Boganicki trying to center to Endicott. Pass intercepted Marek Malik. Peter Pruka, who has scored both goals for the Rangers. Once in the first and here in the third. This is Jágr. Gonchar, some nice work on him. Jágr down to Raczynski. Off the stick of Fleury, and then Malachar just caroms wide. Jaromir Jágr knocked down by Recchi, and they love that here in Pittsburgh. The Penguins marching down the ice, led by Sergei Gonchar. It's been a long shift for Gonchar. Nice pass in front, no one gets to it. Jackman finds it along the boards. Pittsburgh in the midst of a full line change as Raczynski will dump it in. The Rangers respond with a line change of their own.
And Pittsburgh's got some good puck movement here. They're getting the puck up in the ice. They're getting it in deep, and they really need to forecheck now. Don't sit back on your heels now in a 2-2 game that you just scored the last goal.
Pushed into Pittsburgh territory. This is Jackman. Ouellet all by his lonesome down the near boards. Michel Ouellet's wrist shot handled easily by Lundqvist. Pruka by Eric Cairns. And there'll be no icing here on Peter Pruka and the New York Rangers. New York is changing again.
Sorry, Dan. You can see the line changes picking up. The pace picks up, so they got to get the guys off and on quick.
Ouellet steals from Tootin on the forecheck. Michel Ouellet. Tarnstrom fans on the one-timer. And Talbot couldn't get the shot away. New York busts across center. Dominic Moore takes the shoulder from Tarnstrom. Ouellet dodging the check from Moore. And Tarnstrom and the Penguins coming to center.
Dick Tarnstrom quietly having a real good hockey game. He scored their first goal, but he's jumping up on the play. He's slowing the play down. He really has it under control out there. Dickie Tarnstrom, number 32 for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Now it's Jackman and Scuderi back on the blue line for Pittsburgh. Roosevelt to Nylander going to the net. It's Hossa. Marcel Hossa. outnumbered by 2 Penguin forwards. And it's Armstrong moving it out. Great end-to-end action. Touched by Jackman for an icing. It looked like the Rangers, they were going to cruise onto a win. The Pens were on their way to their 8th consecutive loss. But Sidney Crosby has changed things.
As we're back in Pittsburgh, watch John LeClair feed Colby Armstrong. They get the puck to the point to Mark Recchi. Great puck movement, battles along the boards. Johnny LeClair's physical presence gets pinched off, but Colby Armstrong comes out. Sidney Crosby to tie this game up. John LeClair's power forward physical presence leads to that goal.
Face off deep in the Rangers zone. Crosby pokes it forward, trying to center it off the back of the net. Sarovi to Crosby. Penalty behind the play. It's going to be on the Rangers. Who's holding the stick?
Maybe. The Pittsburgh Penguins have picked up their pace of play. Say that 3 times real fast, but here we see bodies kicking the puck. Crosby comes in and Malik comes in and gives him the old 6'5" bear hug. Oh, they call Niemanen for hooking. So
12:02. Niemanen 2 for holding the stick at 12:02.
So it's Crosby on the point, faking, down to Sarovi. Recchi fires, blocked to the Ranger defense. Ortmeyer off balance, nice effort, can't move it out. Gonchar. Sidney Crosby. Sarovi returning to Crosby. Crosby has the game-tying goal already. Looking for the game winner. He fires it off the leg of Tootin. 90 seconds to go. Crosby shoots. Lundqvist to stop. And it looks like Lundqvist, he knocked that net off with the foot. Is that why we had the whistle?
it may be. I'm not certain, but that puck was tipped out through the other side by Sarovi. Right there, it goes out through the other side. I'm not sure why the whistle was blown there. Watch again, Sarovi right there. Puck trickles off to the left here. And the ref blows it down, probably because he saw the net pop up. And that's the only thing that we can see or come up with. I mean, mystery calls here in Pittsburgh.
Minute 25 to go in this power play. Sidney Crosby, Sergei Gonchar, down to Recchi. Ouellet is standing in front along with Sarovi. Now Ouellet to the boards. Pursued by Malik. Mark Recchi, Michel Ouellet, returning to Recchi. Sergei Gonchar, Sidney Crosby, a minute to go in the power play, tied at 2. Inside the final 7 minutes to go in regulation. Gonchar, Crosby, Sarovi waits, fires, Lundqvist again. The whistle sounds, no goal. The whistle sounds before Sarovi puts it over the line.
They have to go upstairs for this one. The guy was in the crease, he was pushed in, but this puck definitely crosses the goal line and goes in the net. It's just a matter of whether it crossed before the whistle was blown. Watch here. Play comes down to Sarovi. He looks, waits, is patient. Guy gets pushed into the net. Puck goes in right there. We don't know if the whistle goes before the puck enters the net, and they definitely have to go upstairs for this one. The ref waves it off. Oh, his whistle was there. I'm sure he probably thought he blew it down. Let's listen. That puck was in well before the whistle had blown. Now, they have to call a penalty then, right?
Goaltender interference, and it is a Pittsburgh penalty. Sidney Crosby puts his head down in his lap. Can't believe it.
I'm sorry. I totally disagree with that call because the New York Ranger defender put Crosby. It was forward motion like in football. Henrik Lundqvist has got a battle for position there. The puck goes in the net before the whistle. I don't understand. I totally disagree with that call. I know they're being sensitive to goalies, but that's where the battles have to happen to pay the price for the goal.
Well, Michel Therrien, pretty reserved considering the calls he's seen go against his team. Salt in the wound. Not only is the goal denied, but the power play's history, and the Rangers will have an abbreviated power play.
Well, they have to make that call then. That's the only way it would make sense is goaltender interference.
Dominic Moore with some extra skating room. 4 skaters aside. Tootin, Ortmeyer, one-timer, dipping. Fleury snares it. Rick Jackman doesn't like anyone messing with Marc-Andre Fleury near whistle time.
Well, once we start seeing goaltender interference calls, then as the crowd responds, they want to call at their end, because the player there, Dominic Moore, or excuse me, Jed Ortmeyer, was there at the doorstep, probably touching Fleury's glove, and now it's going to be a sensitive issue with 6:22 to go in the third period. It's going to be, they have to make calls both ways that way. You got to be consistent. So if they're going to the net one way, which, as I spoke before, I totally disagree that goal should not have been disallowed.
Like a lot of great players, Sidney Crosby seems to be motivated by the opposition or bad calls. I expect him to bust out of this box with even more of a fire lit underneath him.
And we'll see. Hopefully for this game, the way it's going at 2-2, we're seeing a whale of a hockey game here.
Especially here in the third period.
Fantastic movement of the puck and all kinds of stuff.
But a power play for the Rangers for 66 more seconds. Number 68, Jaromir Jagr saunters over the line. Jump puck. Knocked down by Jagr, cleared by Pittsburgh.
Now's the time of the game where all the stats and you throw all that stuff out the window, because it's just a battle of wills now.
Raczynski around Talbot. Finds Tootin on the point, 42 seconds to go. In this power play, Martin Raczynski, Jagr shooting high and wide. Raczynski holds in. Pruka, turnover. Armstrong will tap it out, loose puck. Talbot after it. But he's beaten to it by the speed of Raczynski. 20 seconds to go. Pruka fires wide.
Well, he was looking for number 3 there, streaking down the wing. Peter Pruka made a good shot.
Sidney Crosby curiously looks on in the box. Only 8 seconds left in his minor. Peter Sikora, or rather Marty Straka. Jagr, Pruka's in front. It goes to Straka, too well tied up. Crosby's out of the box. Power play over for the Rangers.
And that was scary there for Pittsburgh. Colby Armstrong turned his back on the play, and Straka had a little bit more time.
Tootin drives it wide. Pressure still coming from New York despite their power play being over. 4:25 to go in regulation. Tied at 2. Pruka. Tootin returning to Pruka, looking for the hat trick. Goes to the point. Roosevelt a drive. He scores! The former Penguin, Michael Roosevelt, on his old ice, gives the Rangers a 3-2 lead.
Great puck control down low by Pruka and Jagr and Straka, who finds Michael Roosevelt wide open. But watch here. Pruka makes play. Watch the overcommitment by Marc-Andre Fleury as he gets beat to the long side. He knows he overcommitted. He smacks his stick down on the ice. Watch him here. Long move, boom, right past him. On the stick side, he overcommitted a little bit. It's a 3-2 hockey game, but what great puck movement by the New York Rangers there. They held the puck in after Pittsburgh Penguins killed the power play. Good penalty killing, but they couldn't get out of their zone.
First goal in 25 games for Michael Roosevelt. He's a timely goal scorer. His second of the season, the go-ahead goal right now for the Rangers. We'll see how Sidney Crosby reacts. He's roaming the ice with Sorobi and Michel Ouellet. Crosby dancing, firing, denied by Lundqvist. And Hossa brings it to center.
Well, Sidney Crosby is certainly trying to do everything he can. He's running into the posts and goalies, and boy, he wants to win. He's got a passion for this game.
They wave off icing as they ruled Pittsburgh could have played it. Gonchar tipping it in. Feder Tootin. What a solid game for the rookie, number 51, back on the Ranger blue line. Billy Neiman and centering off a stick. They score by Fleury, make it 4-2 New York. Nylander was there for the Rangers.
Winning hockey clubs do what they have to do to win hockey games, and after a goal scored, it's 3-2. The Rangers pour it on. Billy Neiman in here gets the puck on an aerial pass, controls it, fakes the shot, now throw the puck to the net. Michael Nylander tips it over Fleury. Nothing on Marc-Andre Fleury can do. And I watched Billy Neiman. It just doesn't really look. Throws it to the net. Good things happen when you throw pucks to the net. And this is a great statement by the New York Rangers, who have been struggling as of late a little bit to get a lot of goals. Well, they got 4 tonight.
Peter Peruka, 2 of them. Nylander and Roosevelt, the latest Ranger tallies.
Well, I'm sorry, but I got to say that the momentum changed with that call. And I know that the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Pittsburgh Steelers fans know about unusual calls in sports. So this last weekend, that was the most unusual call, and an interception, as we know. But here in this hockey game, that broke the game open.
Last 10 minutes kind of typifies the Penguin season. Games are entertaining, they hang in tough, but a bad break or a bad goal, and they're on their way to a loss. We'll see if they can mount a comeback in the final 2:12. Crosby to the net, Gonchar rebound without a stick. Lundqvist to stop. He's still stickless. They try to beat him high. Instead, they hit the back of the net.
That was a great presence there by Henrik Lundqvist to get his pad down on that puck, because the Penguins looked like they were going to pot one there.
For the game, if I would say that the Rangers would cruise to a 4-2 victory, cruise is the wrong adjective, but have 4 goals in lead, and Straka and Jágr weren't part of the goal scoring, I don't think you would put much money on that bet, John.
No, you're right, Dan. I think that as Jarmo Jágr and company and John Davidson allude to, in between the second and third, it's the bottom 2 lines that are very, very much part of this hockey club.
All of a sudden, the Rangers are offside with 1:20 to go in this third period. Loses the stick there.
Yeah, and it was his own guy that knocked it off out of his hands, but great presence by Henrik Lundqvist there, who's had a wonderful night. Great goaltender. Really impressive.
Yeah, not a bad night by the entire Ranger rookie squad. Lundqvist, Peruka, I know Feder Tootin caught your eye.
1 minute.
Peter Sikora off the bench, long shot, big rebound. Ruchin was harassed a bit, couldn't get the shot away. Final 50 seconds, Recchi and Ouellette denied by Feder Tootin. Fleury goes to the bench for the extra skater. And the puck advanced with a hand pass.
As Tootin tries to cut through the zone looking for number 3 into the empty net, which is important for Tom Rennie to get Peter Peruka out. Try to get an empty netter to get 3 goals. It's not very often you get that opportunity, and it's good presence again by Tom Rennie to get his goal scorer out there and keep more confidence.
Fleury back in the net, halfway to the blue line, wants his team to get it in deep. They get it in deep enough, it's deemed. Fleury is on the bench for the extra skater. 35 seconds to go. John Leclerc. Dumped in by Armstrong. 18 seconds to go. Leclerc, Sarovi, shot is blocked. They can't clear it. Lundqvist to stop on Sergei Gonchar with 11.5 seconds remaining.
Well, in our last 11.5 seconds here, Pittsburgh Penguins put up a really good effort tonight against a top hockey club. Like the New York Rangers are for real. Henrik Lundqvist is making a big statement for a Calder Trophy. He might be one of the biggest reasons that the New York Rangers are heading towards the top in the National Hockey League.
Jackman's shot is blocked. The New York Rangers' 2-game losing streak is over, and the Pittsburgh Penguins' losing streak grows to a season-long 8 games.
And again, the New York Rangers are a top hockey club. They found a way to win because Jaromir Jagr threw that puck to the net, taking advantage of a bad call, as I would put it. Guy going to the net and Sidney Crosby, but New York Rangers are a top hockey club. They're finding ways to win. The Pittsburgh Penguins are finding ways to lose, unfortunately. A lot of uncertainty around the Pittsburgh Penguins.
What a night for the rookies. Lundqvist was sensational in goal. Peter Peruka, 2 goals and an assist for a 3-point performance. The Rangers over the Penguins, 4-2. We'll come back to Pittsburgh.